Hello, I'm Idiora, and today I'm going to take a look at Dr. Pitch, which is a Max for Live device I made a few weeks ago. I released a few weeks ago. The demo video I did was pretty high octane and badly conceived, you could call it. So anyway, I thought I'd do this rundown showing you what Dr. Pitch can do, some of the features of it, and yeah, kind of how it works. So I've got these loops in here that I downloaded from Loop Cloud. We've got a collection of drum and bass loops and some house loops. And what we're going to do is just see Dr. Pitch in action. So what it does is it sends a pitch bend over this step sequencer. Now the step sequencer is playing back, as you can see there, it's playing back in time with Ableton, and any MIDI notes that we put in, it's going to apply pitch bends at these particular steps. You also have an activation lane to turn off some of the steps, which will then ignore some of the pitch bending information, and yeah, a few other features. One thing we can do is double click there to clear the pitch bend. 8192 is the absolute midpoint of pitch bend. If we raise it up behind the sequencer, we can see the high point and you can see the low point of 0. But if we double click the triangle, it'll set it to 0 pitch bend, which is where we want it for the moment. What we're going to do is we're just going to put a very simple note lane in, pretty much at random. Let's just put this at let's just put that at random. So those are all C3 notes, and you can hear now when we play it back. Again, we're playing that sine wave. Let's play it an octave lower. So we're playing this sine wave here, and yeah, let's apply some pitch bend to those notes and see what it sounds like. Maybe put the beat on as well. You can see straight away there's tons of different permutations and variations you can put in the bass line. And then we've got these activation steps to turn the sequencing on or off. Let's take that down another octave. Oh, that's the other thing to mention. It is also polyphonic, so it will... Oh, I can't see what I'm doing here. There we go. Let's just pull that up, pull this down. Okay, so a bit more subby there. You can see just by wanging around with this sequencer, we get all kinds of amazing results really from hardly little effort. And if you're someone like me who can't write very good bass lines, this is just such a secret weapon. Let's double up that. Let's double up that note lane, because pitch bends of course will work with multiple notes, so we can kind of layer up that sine wave. We have a randomize button for the steps. We also have this randomize range button. So we just create a random range. We can also save any of the sequences if we like it, so we can like press shift and click, and now we've got that exact pattern stored. So we've got the range and the position of the random sequence. You can see just from having C note, just from having a one note riff, we've suddenly got a bass line you could completely build a whole track off. And I've got this other MIDI track set up here, so if we set that to record, it'll not only record the notes that are being outputted, as we've got them exactly written in the pattern to the left, but if we check that out as well, it also has the pitch bend data written into that, so you've got that you can then use on all kinds of other other instruments. So speaking of which, let's change that sine wave. So I've got some, we've got a contact F9 patch here. Let's go to that. So yes, this is an F9 audio bass. This is a contact instrument which is in Classic Basses Volume 1, and we'll maybe flick through some of these and find one that's going to work. Let's just use it with the bass line we've got there at the moment. Quite like that one. Okay, buff bass. Now I think this instrument is actually monophonic, so our two notes aren't going to work here. Let's just write a new one. So again, this is an example of how quickly you can just get something that's kind of really workable. Let's take that to there, pull this over, and then we're going to duplicate the length of that loop just so we've got a bit more to play with. So take it down an octave, C2. Yeah, so this is sending pitch bend information, and on the off steps you can either choose to have it carry the data over. Let's just stop it. So yeah, on this off step mode is quite useful. So when you have an off step in the activation lane, you can have it carry the value that was last on an activation lane over, or reset to 0. Let's just make a completely new pattern in there. So that's with carry mode. So in the non-activated steps, it's carrying over the previous step. You can see it happening here in the background, but obviously this is all moving quite quickly. But that is what's happening there. You can also reset, which means that when there's no activation step, it'll reset to 0 and you'll get it kind of wiggling around. Let's just make that more pronounced. So we'll turn on so you can hear we've got those high notes and then the low notes. If we set those to around 0, and now we can carry. So that's carrying that final note across until we get to another activation lane. We also have a glide feature, which is quite nice. I'm going to go back to the other bit drum beat actually. Oh no, this one's nice. Underground Sounds is a really nice sort of. So we've got this glide feature, which is just like slowing down how quickly it goes between the values, so you get like a smoother glide. Now that was demoed quite well in the other demo if you want to check that out. Let's see if we can find another bass part that's going to work better with that. Some of these out. These sounds are absolutely amazing. Okay, just plays that a minute. So no pitch bends, we've got all the steps activated. Let's do some random stuff. Oh no, let's have a look at the record function. So whenever you click in this column, it's recording where the note pointer is. And when you let go, it stops recording. Shift click to save that. That's a nice one, isn't it? Obviously we can do things like putting some delay on that. That is just the stock delay there. But yeah, now we have the one that I saved earlier. Sort of groovy one I just made there. love these F9 sounds, they just sound absolutely incredible. But you can see how quickly you can get something together. You can also slow down the playback, so we can divide it if you want it to happen slower. I think the slower tempos work really well with the glide, so let's just... So this is now running through the sequence at half the time, but there's a bit of a glide now between the notes. You've got up to 0.5 seconds glide between them. It'll always reset as well. When you press stop, it'll always reset and go back to the beginning. Let's just put that back on 16 again. I want to get like a super fat bass. Let's keep going through these. These are all amazing. They're all like super chunky. Oh yeah, that's nice. Let's go through here, put it back on C2. We're going to put another note lane in. And again, this is like real layman's way of making a bass line, but for someone who can't, it's such a great way of doing it. I've always really struggled with that kind of thing, and this has just helped me to make some really kind of inspirational things. Yeah, not only can you record the audio and the pitch bend information there, you can also, not only can you record the MIDI and the pitch bend information there, you can also record the audio here. So it's nice to do the two sometimes, so you can remember what that MIDI was connected to. Let's do that now. So we've got, so we'll record the MIDI of the notes and the pitch bend there. Don't need to take too much, it's only a 2-bar loop. And then let's do the same on this track if we can. Where's the flipping thing? There we go. So we just want to do in from Dr. Pitch and set that to record. And then we've got that bass as audio as well. Let's go back to that underground sound. And you can see straight away you've got sort of 25% of the track really. You need like a lead to go in, some like effects, some crashes or whatever else, some arrangement, and straight away you're just going. So this is what I love about this. This is what I love about this thing. And also flicking between carry and reset is like a really nice way to just switch things up a bit. And again, you can save that in the preset slot and switch between the two, which is quite nice. Super groovy. Trying to find the delay here. Where's the freaking delay? Everything bar the delay open, there we go. You can hear straight away there's just so much scope for... Why is the track delay showing? There we go. You can just hear there's so much scope for this, so let's just sample that again. That is nice. Go over and record on the MIDI channel. Yeah, really rolling. Amazing sounds from F9 Audio as well. Go and check this pack out. It's absolutely amazing. What James makes is the best in the business. If you need sounds that sound professional and make your production sound professional, the F9 ones are the ones I would most highly recommend. As well as checking out Loop Cloud if you want like some drum beats just very, very quickly that sound amazing from established artists. Definitely check that out as well. And there it is, that is Dr. Pitch. That is what you can do with your bass lines using Dr. Pitch. Yes, I might well do another video on it. Perhaps if anyone wants to see anything in particular with it, yeah, I'd be happy to show it. But this for me was the overriding thing that just shone through when I was using this, was like, yeah, it really has an impact on great bass lines, even if, like me, you are terrible at doing that in the first place. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.